A Who travel guide. Each of the seven classic doctors visited many worlds, so today we will visit one world with each of the classic doctors. Good morning, Alan. Hello, everyone else, and welcome to TARDIS Spider. With the first doctor, we will visit Aridius in an unknown system with two suns. It is inhabited by the humanoid Aridians and the carnivorous Mire beast. It is a dry desert planet with subterranean cities. We see Aridius in the story The Chase. Despite having two suns, the days and nights on Aridius are very short. The twin suns have moved closer to Aridius over the past millennium, increasing the planet's temperature. As a result, the surface is largely parched and dry. The TARDIS landed in an area called the Sargaro Desert, which was once a vast ocean. The Aridians are intelligent humanoid amphibians. They have gills for ears and spines on their backs. They used to occupy an underwater city, but as the ocean dried up, all the sea creatures died, forcing the Aridians to instead live in the city's underground ruins. The mire beasts, which lived in the slime beneath the ocean, are the only other creatures to have survived. At the time of the doctor's visit, these flesh eating creatures were multiplying. The mire beasts apparently hunt at night and have a large body, glowing eyes, and many tentacles. The only way the Aridians can control the mire beast is by destroying sections of the city that the mire beasts have overrun. With the second doctor, we will visit Dulkus. Dulkus is in the vicinity of Epsilon 4. There are humanoid Dalkans who, despite having two hearts, are physically weaker than humans. This planet has a futuristic capital and the Island of Death, an island irradiated because it is in a former atomic test site. The Doctor takes Jamie and Zoe on a peaceful holiday to Dulcus, a planet inhabited by an advanced and gentle race. The Doctor had visited at least 2 centuries before. But events had moved on, and he was unfortunate enough to land just as two Dominators and their quarks arrived, intent on irradiating the planet's core and subjugating the people. The Dominators, seeking to absorb radiation to power the ship, had landed on an irradiated desert island in the Dalkin southern hemisphere. They immediately removed all the radiation from the island, unaware of its history. The island is surrounded by a sea of mist. A war museum and a survey base are all that stand on what was now called the Island of Death. Students in protective suits are the only visitors, observing the radiation level and its effects on the vegetation. The island appeared entirely barren and rocky, with no plant life immediately visible. The island could only be reached by travel capsule. These two-man rockets would travel swiftly from the island to the capital. At the time of the second doctor's visit, the director of the ruling council was Director Senex. Senex's rebellious son Cully believed that the council typified everything wrong with Dulcus: dull, unadventurous, and endlessly procrastinating. Despite their advanced intelligence, the Dawkins had become stagnant and lazy, so insular they didn't believe in intelligent life on other planets. This and their particular stance left them wide open to subjugation by the Dominators, and only the Doctor's intervention prevented this fate. The Doctor averted the planet's destruction, lessening the effects of the Dominator's attacks. Nonetheless, the island became a massive volcano. The third Doctor would travel to Draconia. Draconia is located in the Milky Way galaxy in a region adjacent to the boundaries of the Earth Empire. The indigenous species are the Draconians, a race of tall, proud reptilian humanoids. Spartanly furnished structures in a temperate Earth-like atmosphere are the climate of Draconia. The home world of the Draconian race, Draconia is a seat of expanding interstellar empire, founded on principles of truth and honor, and governed as a feudal monarchy by the emperor and his court of nobles. Although technologically and culturally advanced, the planet's patriarchal system has aspects that many of the galaxy's enlightened and civilizations found puzzling. Profound sexual inequality and a belief system founded on astrology and the image of a horned beast. The Doctor first visited Draconia in the 21st century. During his lengthy stay, he helped the 15th Emperor through a period of great difficulty when the Draconian race was almost overwhelmed by a plague from outer space. The Doctor returned in the year 2540 when the Daleks, assisted by the Master, were attempting to start a war between the Earth and the Draconian empires. The fourth Doctor will visit the planet Chloris. It's in an unknown location to me. The indigenous species are humanoids, and they have wolfweeds, small mobile plants that they use as hunting dogs. This planet is thick with red vegetation, resembling a tropical forest. Chloris can be found in the story The Creature from the Pit. The Doctor, Romana, and Canine arrive on Chloris to answer a distress signal emanating from what appears to be a giant broken shell in the middle of a dense forest. Further investigations are halted by Lady Adrasta, who rules Chloris via her monopoly on a scarce commodity, metal. Underneath the surface are exhausted mine workings into which those who displease Adrasta are cast in the expectation of certain death. This includes the Doctor. It is also the prison of Arato, an ambassador from the planet Typhonus. Arato was a large mass of green matter who came to Chloris to negotiate a trade agreement, exchanging metals for chlorophyll. Adrasta imprisoned Arato to maintain her monopoly. The broken shell in the forest was Arato's ship, spun from minerals secreted from his own body. Arato was released too late to stop Typhonus from sending a neutron star to destroy Chloris and its solar system in revenge. But the Doctor persuaded Arato to spin a shell of aluminum around the star in order to divert it from Chloris and allow Chloris to take up Arato's previous offer. If you are enjoying this video, please take the time to like, to comment, and to subscribe. The fifth Doctor travels to the world of Deva Loka in the story Kinda. The location of Deva Loka is unknown to me, but the indigenous species are the Kinda, humanoid, superficially primitive, but telepathic, and displaying signs of a technological history. This world is a lush green jungle with foliage including fruit trees that bear fruit year round, long grasses, and shrubs. The Doctor, Nissa, Adric, and Tegan visited Deva Loka at the same time as a galactic survey team. The survey team was assessing Deva Loka for colonization. They had set up their base in a protective dome, although this seemed highly unnecessary. There are no predatory animals on Deva Loka, no diseases, no adverse environmental factors. The climate is perfect and the trees bear fruit in sequence all year long. The planet's inhabitants, the Kinda, enjoyed food in abundance and had no need for shelter. Most Kinda, including all males, did not speak, communicating telepathically. The communal purpose of the Kinda was articulated by the wise woman, who at the time of the transition was embodied in an old one and a young one. A further presence on Devaloka was the Mara. This could emerge from the mind of a non telepath who dreamed under the amplifying effect of the wind chimes. In this case, it was Tegan. It was a destructive force from the dark places of the inside, which had previously ended and began the cycle of the Kinda history. The defeat of the Mara restored harmony to both the Kinda and the expedition members who recommended that Devaloka wasn't suitable for colonization. During his journeys, the sixth Doctor would visit Karfel, The location of this planet is another unknown to me. The indigenous species are the Carfelonians and the Morloxes. The habitat of this planet is the Citadel and a cave system beneath the planet's surface. Karfel is an inhospitable, barren planet with a small humanoid population. The landscape is dotted with clusters of dwellings and dominated by a huge stepped pyramid, the Citadel, which is home to 500 citizens and the ruling council. The planet suffered under the oppressive rule of the Borad, a dictator who watched every movement in the Citadel via surveillance cameras. Karfel was also home to the Morloxes, huge, long necked reptiles that inhabited the caves underneath the planet. The Doctor had previously visited Karfel in his third incarnation, but the sixth Doctor and Perry were drawn back when the TARDIS became caught in a time corridor emanating from the planet. The Doctor was quick to expose the Borad as a renegade scientist who had been experimenting with the Morlox creatures, becoming transformed into a powerful hybrid, half Carfelian, half Morlax. The Borad's revulsion of his mutated appearance led him to ban all mirrors and reflective surfaces from the Citadel. He developed the time corridor using Contron crystal technology and pushed the planet into war with the neighboring planet Bandril, hoping to destroy the humanoid Carfilians. The Doctor defeated the Borad by using his own technology against him. During his regeneration from the sixth to the seventh Doctor, the Ronnie draws the TARDIS to the planet Lakertia, the location of which is another planet unknown to me. The indigenous species are the Lakertians, reptilian humanoids. This planet is a world of black cliffs, slate like rocks, and small lakes. Time and the Ronnie is when the Doctor visits Lakertia. Lakertia is a craggy world with an abundance of slate like rock. The planet's inhabitants bask under a warm pink sky and seem to have few worries. The Lakertians are sophisticated humanoids with reptilian characteristics, yellowish green skin, and scales on their faces. Their long manes cover a bony crest on the top of their skulls. But the benevolent climate and lack of obvious predators made the Lakertians easy prey for their Rani. She planned to create a time manipulator on Lakertia using the minds of kidnapped geniuses from the Earth and other planets. The Rani brought with her a force of her bat-like tetraps, who were assisting her in her subjugation of the Lakertians, forcing them to build a rocket silo on top of her laboratory. Even under the Rani, the people of Lakertia continued to live a placid indifference with the center of leisure as a focal point for the beleaguered community. This tranquil space was a contrast to the forbidding citadel that the Rani commandeered as her base, which featured stylistic dragons at its entrance. The Rani was foiled by the newly regenerated Doctor and then abducted by the Tetraps who overran her TARDIS. The Lakertians then determined to take control of their own destinies. These are just 7 of the many worlds visited by the classic Doctors in Doctor Who. I will return again to visit many other planets, so enjoy your journey through time and space. Enjoy your travels, and good night.